Before we dive into today's video, I wanted to take a moment to talk to you about my Patreon. For just $4.99 a month, you can support the channel and help me continue to bring you better and better content. As a member, you'll get access to exclusive merch, custom videos, one-on-one calls, group calls with me and other members, video shoutouts, and uncensored content, and behind the scenes content, and be able to make specific requests for custom videos. If you're enjoying the content and want to see more, consider joining the Patreon family. Hit the link in the description of this video to join. Thanks for your support, and let's get right into the video.
The sword is yours, pilot.
Yeah, guys. We're here live and direct for another episode. It's a good episode, I would feel like, because we got a special guest. The one and only.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen. What does K stand for?
Kighlyn,
That's a fantastic name.
thank you.
Tell us a little bit about yourself and your background.
Pretty easygoing person. I come from a big family, kind of rougher background, I guess, than your average person's background, I suppose. You know, my parents went through a messy divorce. I never really recovered from that, but me and my siblings are doing great. We all have good jobs and stuff, and that's what pushed me to be where I'm at now.
Are you close with your siblings and your loved ones?
Oh yeah, super close. Siblings made life so much easier as a kid.
Yeah, you guys all had each other's back and were there for each other and very close.
Oh yeah, and then we were also fighting each other at the same time, so it goes back and forth. You know how sibling rivalries are.
Oh, I definitely know how sibling rivalries go.
You do.
Me and my brother, we used to go at it, ladies and gentlemen, fighters. We're just two little rambunctious young kids growing up in southern Texas in the heat,
Exactly. Do you
not
know how it
knowing
is?
how to do it or, raising yourself in the streets. But you just do what you want at that age. You don't really understand that you're living how you're living at the time.
Mhm.
And then when you look back on your younger age, you're like, wow, I really, like, life was way different back then, right? You know what I mean?
Absolutely, 100%.
So, and you just never know what you're gonna run into and how life is gonna go. You've been doing caregiving for a while now.
Yep, I've been doing it for just under a year.
Tell us about what do you like about being a caregiver? What inspired you? I would say.
What inspired me
Yeah.
would be just kind of like my grandma. My grandma, life comes full circle. Young to old, and then you go back to the earth where we came from, etc. So I wanted to help my grandma and help her out because my parents kind of aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing. So I had to step up. But then I realized that it's like that in a lot of places, in a lot of facilities, in a lot of people's homes. That sometimes family moves out and does their own thing, which is fine. There's a lot of people who need help, and I love helping people. So that's where I'm at.
Would you say you find it rewarding?
Oh, definitely. Exactly.
What are some of the most challenging aspects of having to take care of someone, you think?
I think maybe emotional turmoil, not on myself, but on my clients and on my patients is, it's frustrating to not be able to care for yourself and want to do things a very specific way. And then having to explain your thought process to somebody else and wanting them to do it your way can be emotionally turmoil or can bring a lot of emotional turmoil to somebody. So that would be a big challenge, but I'm there to help everybody and walk you through it.
So you would think the most challenging aspect of it would be like not necessarily your duties, but how the patient feels about.
Yeah, because everybody has good days, everybody has bad days, but we still got to get our work done. We still got to have self-care, feed yourself, make sure you're clean, hygienic, happy.
Yeah, you've been with me. I think we met each other, what, was it in June?
Thank you.
And we are currently in August. So how many months is that? 5 or 6? Is it that many?
Oh, 3 or 4.
Yeah, maybe like 3 or 4 months. So you've seen me change. You think in these last couple months that you've been with me, or do you
Oh
think?
yeah. I mean, you lived in your mom's house before this, and now you're in your own house, you're in your own space. You have your own decor. You know what I mean? Your own rules. So I've seen you change into the person that you're gonna be, that you're growing into be, for sure.
Physically or anything? Do I feel like you seem like I've got, or does it seem like I've gotten, excuse me, like bigger or like smaller, or have I changed, or like movement wise? Have you seen me?
Physically, no changes besides like maybe your arms with your workouts and stuff. You've been doing good with that. Your form and the time that you put down for it. You definitely go for at least an hour, 2 hours at a time, which is good and productive. Help you with your muscle mass and etc.
Okay, I'm always training. That's a big important thing
That's right.
in my life. Always got to stay motivated to do that. But do you train?
Not at the moment, but
Do you like working out at all?
yeah, I do. I do work out a little bit, but not necessarily train. I just do regular routine kind of. Just
Yeah.
some small sets. Keep me stretched and limber.
Be flexible.
Yeah, pretty flexible. You gotta be flexible for this job.
Yeah, I guess that's true. When do you gotta get flexible for this job?
You have to carry somebody else's weight. You have to be able to move them, maneuver them, feed them, pick them up, dress them, all that. So you need to be flexible. You know, it's
Mhm.
definitely not a
Yeah.
soft laboring job.
Can you share a memorable story, your most memorable story, working this job?
Mhm. Let's see. My most memorable story from being a CNA.
Yeah, like some crazy stuff that's happened, and I know there's a lot of stuff that goes on in this job.
Well,
How long have you been doing it?
for just under a year.
Okay.
Yeah. So I
Have
started
you worked
with
it
the
like in?
facility for a little while.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I started doing in-home care. But in the facility, I guess like the most something that pops out was just kind of learning what sundowners was, which is where someone who someone's dementia doesn't kick in kind of till nighttime, or kind of just it stresses them out and they have anxiety at nighttime, which can lead to kind of negative behaviors. And that was just really eye-opening for me, and just to kind of see the end of life cycle too. That was really eye-opening, and then having to learn to do CPR and like being anxious about having to do that on somebody. It's a lot of emotional turmoil. But that's definitely one memory that comes to mind, is just seeing what Sundowners was up close and personal.
What is sundowners? I've never heard of sundowners.
So it's like what I was saying earlier, like how the dementia acts up at night. So like say during the day shift comes in, and like you have this is nobody, it's just for example Miss Betty. Say you have Miss Betty or something, and she is nice during the day, she's cool, she's allowing you to do all the activities you need to do willingly, and then come nighttime Miss Betty may be frustrated, anxious, like missing her family, which is fine. But then she's kind of lashing out at you and yelling and not being respectful and stuff like that. But so a lot
So
of
she
times
completely changes on you.
yeah, it's so like when the sun goes down, like they're sundowners. So,
Okay. So like nighttime
Mhm.
dementia.
It can kind of get them acting
Wow.
kind of negatively.
I think taking care of your brain is so important. I mean, that would be so scary
Hmm.
to have your mental turn on you.
Yeah,
You
that's
know?
what we're trained for. It's okay if it does.
So I mean, that's respect to anybody who can learn to take care of that type of person.
Mm-hmm. It's all right.
What are some common misconceptions people have about caregiving?
What are some common misconceptions people have? It can be 50-50. I think a lot of times people think that we just do this job because it's easy and it's easy money. And then there's the other 50% who thinks that like we're just doing it for the money and we're not doing it because we care about people. So that can be for any person in the healthcare field, not just CNAs, it can be nurses, RNs, etc., doctors. But everybody's different. Some people are those stereotypes, some people aren't, and most of us aren't, because it's a hard job, and if you're in it for the wrong reasons, you're not going to be in it for long.
Yeah.
That's right.
So what would you consider yourself?
I would say I care about everybody. I
Like,
really don't judge. I take the information in. I'm like, okay, let's do it, and then we get on with our task and our day. I'm fine with it.
I think that makes a good person.
Mhm.
What do you think makes a good person?
Just being open-minded and kind.
So is that the type of person you're most attracted to? Someone who's open and kind? Is that what you gravitate towards? I would say.
I just like anybody who's open and kind. Yeah.
You have a lot of open and kind friends and family members in your life.
Not necessarily. I wouldn't say that, but it's definitely good to surround yourself with who you want to be.
Absolutely. You are who you hang around, and everybody that you're with shapes your reality and how you behave
Mhm.
in some way or another.
Right.
So that's why, like, knowing, it's like not knowing people. It's like you would never know how you would be if you did know someone, but you never know because you never met that person, right? You could be a completely different person living a completely different life
Right.
had you known someone or done something at a certain time.
Right. It's an interesting scenario.
What's the most stressful situation you've been in or emergency?
I feel like that one time that we got stuck in sand, that was stressful.
Yeah,
That was pretty.
that was your most stressful.
Not most stressful,
experience?
but definitely our most stressful experience.
Because there's no way that I could have gotten out of that situation had it just been me and you in that
Had God
forest.
intervened and those people been there. Y'all go check out that video though.
Yeah, go check out that video. I think it was picking up girls at the beach. There's a scene in there where I get stuck in the sand and it cuts off to another day, or to me working out. Just go check it out. You guys gotta watch it, see what happens in that video. Very good video. Go check it out. It's on my YouTube page. What are some hobbies or interests you have outside of caregiving?
Nature. I love nature. I love music. I love music. I love every genre of music too. It's not nothing in particular. I'm not against anything. What are some other hobbies? I like plants. I like me some indoor plants and stuff.
You like plants?
I also have some kiddos, so I love hanging out with my kids and my family.
Yeah, you ever grown like a vegetable or a mushroom or something?
I've grown some seasonings like basil and oregano and those little starter kits and stuff. Those died out though, so those did not last long.
I saw you brought some vegetables here.
Yeah, there's some peppers and bell pepper.
Are those like special type of bell peppers grown? Or?
They're hot peppers, so when you touch them, you gotta wash your hands. But I was just figuring if we cook or something, or if you wanted to cook later, you have hot peppers. I brought 3 chili peppers, and then there's just 1 bell pepper, just a little green bell pepper. That one's not spicy. But yeah, those were grown. Not from me, but from our friend.
You know how to grow that type of
Yeah,
stuff?
we could.
Yeah.
We could.
So your friend grew that?
Mhm.
Nice. Very nice. You remember the first time we met?
Yep. Vaguely though. Why?
What was your first impression, I would say?
I was just ready to get to work. Let's see. I don't know.
That was when I was at my mom's house.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you were just in your bed ready for the day.
Yeah.
So I was ready to get the day started.
What was your first impression of me?
I would say
That's a weird
inspirational
question.
because
What's
you're
your
pretty
first
positive thinking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you're pretty inspirational. You're goofy, but inspirational.
Well, I am a practicing comedian.
Right. In the making.
One day, that'd be awesome. Are you into comedy?
Oh yeah, that'd be cool. You get to have your own Netflix special one day, huh?
My Netflix special?
Yep. I'll be chilling and be like, it's just gonna come across.
Honestly, you would be a better Netflix comedian than me. I think my takes are a little bit harsh. I don't think they want me on Netflix, but I can see you on there, honestly, because you are a jokester. Like, you make jokes all the time. You're always funny and stuff. So, not a lot of women comedians are as funny as you. So I think honestly you'd be top tier.
Something to think about. Something to ponder.
What are some unique challenges that you would think that have happened in your life? Can you talk about some of the unique challenges you faced?
I had a really rough childhood that I've had to overcome, and that entails I had a late start to adulthood versus everybody else who had, their parents take them to get their driver's permit and get them their first job and first bank account and all that stuff. But I had to figure all of that out past 17, 18, where I could do it by myself. And then I had to finish up school because I had to move out due to family conflicts. So that was stressful, but I figured out everything mostly since I was 17, and I'm 25 now, and I've got me 3 babies and my little job and my little house, so I'm doing okay.
Yeah. How has motherhood changed you?
I would say for the better. It's opened my eyes to other families, other mothers, other children, and it's opened my eyes up to my family, my mom, my dad, how everybody acts towards you. Kind of like how you were saying earlier with you surround yourself who you want to be and kind of reflect your actions against those around you. And if you have good company, then you'll have good actions and good thoughts.
Good actions and good thoughts.
Yep.
If you keep good company around you. So basically, they are going to influence you to be your best and act and behave your best and push you to motivate you to be your best.
Exactly.
What keeps you motivated throughout the day?
I guess my kiddos, I gotta work hard. I gotta get through the day so that they have a good day, because I'm in the charge of someone else's childhood right now. So I gotta work for that.
In the middle of someone else's childhood?
I'm the maker of somebody's childhood,
You're the creator of their life?
Yep.
And
I'm making the simulation.
You are the simulation creator.
Sorry, I'm the simulator.
The simulator. What's something people might be surprised to learn about you?
Probably that I have 3 kids at my age. A lot of people do. Not saying that, but I am pretty to have 3 at this age already. But I don't know. I'm pretty easygoing. It's nothing hard. I can do it.
So, can you share some stories about your past that's shaped you to become who you are now?
I've kind of touched on it a little bit. It was kind of like my rough childhood and kind of my grandma's health declining. That kind of pushed me to be CNA where I'm at now. But, with social media and all the influencers and stuff, it makes you want to do more, makes you want more, see more, and etc. So I want to do that too. I want to take care of my family. I want to take care of others. But I also want to take care of myself at the end of the day too.
You need to be taken care of as well.
Right. Everybody.
What would you see yourself doing past what you're doing now and how you're living now?
I definitely want to go up the ladder in healthcare field, but just not right now. I could go to nursing school and go get my LPN and BSN and all that, but I'm really just waiting for the right time, the right opportunity.
And it doesn't have to be caregiving, like it could be anything. But
Yeah.
would you always remain in the healthcare field? Or would you branch out to maybe being a singer or actress or a model?
Probably. That's wild. I don't know.
You are Miss Model.
Why? Probably not. I'll probably just stay where I'm at. I like being low-key. I don't like being front and center.
So you like to be out of the spotlight, and are you big into social media and TikTok and
Honestly, no. I like watching it. I'm a creeper. I watch and stuff, but that's really about it.
so you're the type to have a bunch of burnout accounts and just like watching people? A lot of people do that. A lot of people are just stalkers out here.
Yep. Count me in.
Guys, don't be a stalker. Like the video and subscribe.
Always comment.
You heard it, folks. We want to know about how you're living out there on this beautiful Saturday on the StormCast. So what are some common interests that you think you share with some common interests that we have?
We both got love for music. We both like being outdoors. Let's see.
Some of these questions are weird. I'm just reading off of them, but they sound good until I say them. And then it's that sounds like I'm asking
we just need categories.
interview question. But I mean,
I feel like you're about to hire me.
it does lead to good conversation somehow. I think we just have that type of discourse where we can just talk about random stuff and it just keep flowing pretty good. So that's a pretty good thing. If you could witness any moment in history, where would you go back and why?
Could I interfere, or am I just going to look?
You can do anything you want. Where would you
I
go
would
back?
want to prevent the Holocaust. I know that sounds so crazy.
You want to prevent the Holocaust?
But it just makes me so. I don't know. There's so many massacres. I would just want to go prevent. That's what I want to do. I'm just going to be a time traveler. Just go prevent every massacre. You got the Trail of Tears. You got the Holocaust.
I don't
you have
know. What about
natives
slavery?
in Canada.
But I feel like that would be a good one to start with. But
Yeah.
I think slavery played a vital role on helping the United States become who it is, and that's why Black people are claiming they want reparations and whatnot. I don't really understand. If you give them the money, what is that going to do? Is it going to help us? Or I think it would help the economy. It would help the Black people out. But then you got the white people. What are they going to say about that? They're not going to like that very much. So and then you got all these stipends and government handouts, and I mean the government it gets deep. Only certain people qualify for certain things based on certain stuff, and then you got retirement. I don't know. That just threw me on a loophole there. Do you think humans are like inherently good or like evil, or like a mix of both?
I think it's instincts to be greedy.
Instincts to be greedy. You don't think being greedy is
I think
good?
it's an animal instinct. I think it's primal.
So being greedy is good because it's primal.
It's good for survival, but it's not good for compassion. So it's just, who do you want to be? Do
And
you
we
want
have
to be
the
lonely,
choice.
a lone wolf, or do you want to be with the pack?
So in order to be with the pack, you
You gotta
think
be compassionate. You gotta help the pack. You can't just be a solo leader, in my opinion.
what are your views on the concept of fate versus free will?
I'm 50-50 on it, mainly because in the Bible it shows, and this is a big debate biblically. A lot of people have a big debate about it in the Bible, but it shows in both in the Bible that there's predestination. Your destiny's already been done, or there's free will where you choose. I think they play into each other. I think your free will could have led you into your predestined destiny. I don't know. Not really much for me to say, but I believe in both, if that's what we're asking.
So you believe in destiny by the power of the spirit?
I think that somebody's already seen it, maybe, like obviously God, or but obviously we can't prove it, or we don't really know. We're kind of just winging it.
Is that how you believe we came to exist, by God, or was it a random chance in the universe?
I would like to thank God. Definitely. I hope so.
What is the most profound or life-changing experience you've ever had, and how did it shape you to become who you are today?
Yeah, going through pregnancy and having bodily changes. And not saying that you could relate to pregnancy, but you understand bodily changes and having a new routine and feeling a new way. And it's mentally draining. And then you have a different aspect on life, as do I, being a mother. You have to, you got to be more careful. You got to be more thoughtful, more mindful about what you're doing, where you're going, what you're saying.
Motherhood.
Yep.
Because they're always watching you.
Mm-hmm. And others are watching. Other people are watching to see how you're going to parent, how you're going to do.
So everybody's judging everyone.
Every little thing you do. But that's just where you decide what kind of mom you want to be, and not care about what other people think, as long as you and your family are happy and fed.
What do you think the meaning of life is? Is it family?
It can be. I think it's different for everybody. I don't think the meaning of life can be the same for any person.
So you think it's not the same for everyone?
That's right. I think everybody has a different destiny.
What do you think happens after our destiny is complete, when we die? Is there an afterlife or reincarnation? Or
I believe there's an afterlife, because I've had an experience with a medium where I spoke to my grandpa, and there's just information that he wouldn't have been able to get online, that there's just not online. You know what I'm saying? Because my grandpa only had Facebook. He didn't have barely any information out there. Information about me that's not on the internet, that's not AI generated or anything, or could be grabbed by anybody. So I had a really heartfelt, genuine moment with the medium. So I definitely believe there's an afterlife.
So you talked to someone from the afterlife before?
Mm-hmm.
Can you recall a conversation? That's interesting.
Oh, yeah. Sure. I waited for about an hour and a half. I got on this live stream with, we'll tag the person in a second. His name is Thomas John, or John Thomas, something like that.
Tag you, John Thomas?
Tag here. Yeah, I saw him. He used to do this taxi. You might have seen him on Facebook. He used to do this taxi driver dude, and he would pick up somebody, and he'd be like, you have a presence with you, or did you lose a mother? Did you lose a father? Type thing, whatever. I was very, very skeptical at first. Anyway, I just bought one of the live tickets, and I got so lucky because this man, excuse me, Thomas, but you are so expensive. I was able to buy a $40 Zoom thing. You cannot buy a $40 Zoom thing no more. I don't know what happened. I'm so sorry, but y'all just gonna have to, spend some bucks if you want to talk to your deceased ones. I waited for about 4 people. I'm just sitting in there. There's maybe 400 people live in this Zoom. So he's just, doing his thing. And I'm like, Papa, please come through. Please come talk to me. I'm holding a picture. I'm talking to him. Then he starts describing things that could possibly be my grandfather. And he's like, okay, I have somebody coming through who owned a pizza shop. And I was like, oh, that my grandpa did. And then he just kind of kept getting deeper. And there was some details that I didn't know about my grandfather. There was I didn't know he grew up on an apple farm or anything like that. So he was talking about a farm. And I was like, oh, this isn't about me. This isn't. I don't know. I'll let somebody else have the baton. But
Whoa.
Yeah.
So he told you about your grandpa.
Yeah.
What is the most attractive quality in a person?
I think we kind of touched on this with the openness and kindness.
Openness and kindness.
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe in soulmates?
I don't know.
Why or why not?
I feel like it's different for everybody. Some people have that soulmate first connection type of thing, and some people don't. sometimes you gotta work for it. So I have no idea.
How do you think social media has changed like how relationships and attraction works these days? I feel like it was much different when we were younger, growing up without social media,
100%.
dating, and
I feel like it's so
whatnot.
different now. It has its pros and cons, honestly.
Do you think it's affected us negatively, or
I think so, yeah. I think it's made us lose like personal contact, like and face to face, like physical contact and physical connection. Because you'd be real bold behind a keyboard.
Yeah.
But it's harder when you have your heartbeat in your chest. Just thumping and you're nervous whenever you talk to somebody
in person?
Mm-hmm.
So you think physical attraction plays the most important part in a relationship, or do you like you like to have a long
No, I
term
wouldn't say
relationship?
physical wouldn't be the main. I feel like, but like I said, it's different for everybody. Some people are more physically inclined in relationships, and then some people are more, like
Or
heart.
let's say like being physically attracted. I'm sorry. Cut you
No, that's
off,
fine.
but, like being physically attracted to someone is the main
After
way
you-
to sustain a long term relationship with someone. If you don't love them for, I guess, how they look to you or how they come across, like just their body movements or smell,
Oh,
things
we're
like
talking
that.
about icks.
Yeah.
I mean, you're gonna get
You have
icks
any
for everybody.
icks?
I just don't like mean. I just don't like mean people. That's an ick for me.
Mean people.
Mm-hmm. Like genuine. You know what I mean? Like someone who doesn't care about somebody else's feelings like that. That turns me off so bad.
They're legit. I think that's called being psychotic, when you genuinely don't care about the emotions that you evoke in others. Maybe is that the definition of psychotic? We'll put that on the screen here. Probably completely wrong, but so are you into like? Do you think gender roles are important
In what sense?
in a relationship as far as attraction?
Yeah, but that's between them. You know what I'm saying? Speak up in your relationship. Tell the other person what you want.
So you think it's important to establish what you want in a
Wants, needs.
relationship?
Mm-hmm.
Is that communication?
Mm-hmm.
I would say so. That's good communication. What are your thoughts on open relationships or polyamory?
It's not my cup of tea, but people like tea. You know what I'm saying? That's their thing. I'm happy for them.
So, would you ever join a polygamous relationship?
Me and my man are very monogamous. I'm a jealous person. I'm a very jealous person.
You would never join a haram?
No. But I'm not kicking rocks to anybody who does. I don't mind.
Do you think it's truly possible to love more than one person at the same time?
Yeah, because they have those type of relationships. Polyamorous, they love everybody. Or their people. You know what I mean?
Or maybe not even polygamous, maybe just in general. Do you think it's possible to love more than one person?
I think so. Possibly. Yeah.
I guess that would be considered polyamory. How has your perception of love and attraction changed over time? Chat, is that a weird question?
It's really just growing up. That's about it.
So yeah, we're just talking here. Are you into politics?
No. Oh, God.
You think political systems impact our daily lives more than we realize?
Nah, I don't care about it.
What are your thoughts on the idea of a universal basic income? Do you think it could work?
It's the setting up part that would be hard. I guess. I mean, afterward it'd be all right, but I don't know how you would even set that up.
Do you believe there's a such thing as just war? I don't know. How do you think we should handle the balance between freedom of speech and protecting people from harmful rhetoric?
Well, balls up, CBA.
What are your views on the current state of democracy around the world?
I don't like it, but I'm not educated enough to speak about it.
Do you think capitalism is the best economic system, or is there a better alternative?
Definitely not educated enough to know about it.
Capitalism, you got capitalism,
Yeah,
you got
but
dictatorships,
I know about that.
socialist governments. The country government that the United States currently operates under is a democracy.
I don't know. It's not really working for us much, is it? I can't really recommend it.
A democratic capitalism.
Yeah. I don't know.
So would you rather have a king, someone like that, or kind of like a dictator, kind of like a Kim Jong-un? Do you think those type of countries work well? Would you
No.
ever go to North Korea?
No, I've never.
How do you feel about the idea of artificial intelligence having a role in government and decision making? Like, say we hire a artificial intelligent robot as our president, and he just makes the best decisions for our well-being. Do you think that would be a good decision? If he's making all the right decisions, he doesn't have human error or flaw.
It would have to depend on how he's programmed, who programmed him, really, because I mean, really, the bias of the AI would be off of the programmer.
So there could be implicit bias.
Yep.
What are your thoughts on the influence of big corporations on politics and society?
I don't like that they're so much as like monopolies. Like, I don't like that there's no like. There's a lot of regulations, but then not a lot of regulations on their product and consumer buying. Like, there's more just rules on who can control the company and all of the ins and outs of that. So I wish that there was just more regulations on the ins and outs. You know what I mean?
Do you think men and women have the same opportunity in the workforce?
I would still, I mean, women's pay is still drastically under men's pay. So I would definitely say no. Men have more privilege when it comes to the workplace, for sure.
Do you think men have more privilege?
Definitely.
How so?
It's just, you can look up stats. We can hook those stats up right here.
I would love to
The pay.
look them up. Men versus women. Pay grade? How would you type that in chat? So I think it's because my prediction is going to be because women work different jobs than men. And they choose jobs that typically don't.
Well, see, here's the stat right here. Like, let's CNA right here. It says
Because women aren't becoming, a lot of times, certain positions because of not wanting to do those type of jobs, right? That has to be some part of it. Women versus women.
Yeah. Stats are stats.
Or,
Because in any work field, men or female, you know what I mean?
would you rather have a woman doctor or a man doctor perform brain surgery on you?
Whichever. Whoever has the most operations.
If it was whoever has the most operations,
That's right.
that's a good answer. Would you say that men or women typically perform better on, say, a brain surgery? Or
I'm not educated enough to know on it. I'd have to look at the stats.
would you rather have a man or woman airplane pilot?
Whoever's flown the most.
Okay, I see what you're doing there.
What's the word I'm looking for? Experience.
So you're looking for whoever has
Yeah,
most
I don't care
experience.
about gender.
Gender doesn't play a role.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gender only matters. Not sexuality.
Forbes gender pay statistics in 2024. This is from
Top
Forbes.com.
one. General wage gap statistics.
I'm gonna scroll down here. If you're
Women
watching.
still earn 16% less than men on average. Told
Okay.
you.
The gender pay gap refers to the difference between the average earnings of men and women in the workforce. Despite attempts to narrow the gap, women still earn 16% less than men on average. This gender pay gap statistic report will delve into the latest statistics, uncover where the gap is still present, and discuss factors that influence pay disparity between men and women. All right. So we're looking at the general wage gap statistics here. Men earn 16% less than.
Women.
Okay, so excuse me there. Women earn 16% less than men on average. Women earn just 84 cents for every dollar a man makes.
Mhm.
Women of color are among the lowest paid workers in rural areas, with rural Black and Hispanic women making just 56 cents for every dollar that rural white non-Hispanic men make. Latinas are compensated just 55% of what non-Hispanic white men are paid in 2024. Black women are paid 64% less, 60% of what non-Hispanic white men are paid. Native American women are typically paid only 59 cents for every dollar paid to white non-Hispanic men. A 20-year-old woman just starting full-time year-round work stands to lose $407,760 over a 40-year career compared to her male counterpart.
That's crazy.
So
Isn't that insane?
I just want to know where these statistics are being gathered from. This, I mean, it is Forbes.com, so it could be a little bit of bias going on here. But I mean, it makes sense, right? But it's not explaining why women are
Scroll down.
making less. So it says the difference between the controlled and uncontrolled pay gap. There are two types of gender pay gaps, the controlled and uncontrolled gap. The controlled gap measures the difference in pay between men and women performing the same job with the same experience and qualifications. The uncontrolled gap represents the overall difference in pay between men and women considering all the jobs and industry in which they work. What is the wage gap currently? Women earn an average of 60% less than men. For every dollar earned by men, women earn 84 cents. The controlled gender pay gap, which considers factors such as job title, experience, education, industry, job level, and hours worked, is currently at 99 cents for every dollar men earn. Whoa. So is that saying that women are earning 99 cents for every dollar a man is making? Which doesn't seem too bad when you put it at, well, that's the controlled gap. I mean, but what industries are these women and men participating in, and does it require physical labor that women typically don't
Scroll down.
get into? Has the pay gap changed over time? In 1963, a woman made 59 cents for each dollar earned by a man. In 2010, that number had increased to 77 cents per every dollar, an average improvement of half a cent on average annually. The Center for American Progress projects that gender pay equity won't become a reality until 2056. So they're predicting that by 2056, women and men will be making the same. But could it be because jobs are going to change in 2056, or what is that? Why would it become the same at that point? Gender pay gap based on job title. The gender pay gap extends to nearly every profession, but the disparity in earnings particularly impacted some job titles between men and women. Understanding how the gender pay gap affects specific job titles is crucial to understanding the problem and developing targeted solutions. Despite the push for equal pay for equal work, women continue to earn less than men in nearly every occupation, from entry-level positions to the C-suite. Even when controlling for job characteristics, women at the executive level still earn only 95 cents for every dollar earned by men. And in the uncontrolled group, the pay gap widens to 73 cents. The gender pay gap for entry-level positions is 18.4%. The pay disparity is also reflected in entry-level positions where research from the National Association of Colleges and Employers shows a gap of 18.4% between the annual salaries earned by women and men, with women earning $52,266 compared to men's $64,022. Women earn more pay than men in only 3 job roles. So women do out-earn men in 3 job roles. There are a few areas where women earn higher salaries than male counterparts. Women earn 3% more than men as compliance officers and vocational nurses, and 2% more as wholesale and retail buyers. Women are out earning men in compliance officer work, vocational nurses, which I'm guessing is travel nurses, and 2% more as wholesale or retail buyers. I think women mainly, I would like to say, work those jobs more often. Compliance officers, maybe like social work, something like that, and nursing is typically a female-dominated industry. There is only one job role where men and women earn the same pay. Despite the previous examples of gender pay disparity in the workforce, there is one job role where men and women earn equal pay: teaching assistants. Both genders earn an average of $34,424 per year. Educational guidance counselors come in close second, with men earning a mere $104 more on average. We have teaching assistants, which is like, I guess, a teacher's assistant.
We gotta pay our teachers.
$34,000 a year.
It's so cheap.
How much is that equating to a month? Maybe
It's like the same as me.
maybe around 1,500 a month, around that area. So that's not a lot to live on.
Especially if they've got families.
But at the same time, it depends on what type of life they're living in. A lot of teachers' assistants, I would say, aren't doing that full time. So, but teachers are not, they're drastically underpaid. Think about the creators of our generation, future generations. They're not even being compensated for the just taxing work, I would say, taking care of, educating children, and with being held with that responsibility. It's one of those roles where you want to have someone who's highly trained, highly motivated, highly professional, and a lot of them getting paid $34,000 a year aren't going to be top tier, I would say, educators or professionals in their craft. Jobs with the smallest gender pay gap. Physical and social science jobs, along with physical therapy, are among the professions with the smallest gender pay gap, with women earning 2% less than men. All right, so this is a lot of, I don't know how we got all into women versus men pay gap, but where did we even
You were
start?
asking me a bunch of women and male questions.
I think I was asking you about culture. How do you define culture? And do you think it's something that should be preserved or allowed to evolve?
Are you kind of meaning like cultural appropriation, like around those lines? Did you know that's like a hot topic right now?
Yeah, what do you think about cultural appropriation?
I think it's very touch and go. It depends on what culture you're touching on. Do you know what I mean? Some people are very strict about keeping traditional values, and other cultures are welcoming and they want their culture to be spread. So it's really just do your research on what you're learning on and what you're trying to appropriate, and make sure that it's welcomed for you to be doing what you're doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so you think getting involved is important to spread?
If you're within the parameters, okay? Don't just be some outlier, oddball with no association whatsoever and just curious and one day wanting to be a part of this culture. Like, dive in, get to know the locals, get to know the deep roots of it instead of just being a curious, wanderlust child. Take it seriously, because this is people's livelihoods. This is their traditionals. This is their ancestors.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think the U.S. has a culture? And
I think
if
it's
so,
multiple.
what
I
type
wouldn't say one in singular as a stereotype. You know what I mean? It took different ethnicities to build the U.S. So it's multiple cultures.
What do you think is the
there's
biggest
just one.
misconception about our culture?
I don't know. A lot of our
Or your
stereotypes are
culture.
truth.
What type of culture do you think what type of misconceptions do you think people have on your culture?
Well, for me, I'm Native American, so there's a lot of misconceptions with being Native American. So I would just say do your research, look into it, instead of just, saying stupid stuff.
So you think cultural traditions should be preserved?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Not saying that random people who have nothing to know about it should have to preserve some culture that they don't care about. But I think it just as much as free speech and all that stuff, like people should have respect for it. You know what I mean? If someone wants to preserve it.
How do you think we can find happiness in a world that seems so chaotic and uncertain?
And worry about you. That's it.
Just worry about yourself.
Mm-hmm. Worry about you, everybody around you, and your family. That's the best you can do. You can't worry about the other side of the world when you got to worry about your own world.
What are your thoughts on the idea that we create our own reality through our thoughts and beliefs?
I think it's true. 100%.
So do you believe in the power of the mind and being able to project your own reality?
Oh, yeah, manifestation through your mind, absolutely.
Manifestation through your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Have you practiced manifestation?
I think the biggest example of manifestation would be self-affirmations, positive self-affirmations, and goal setting.
How do you think we should measure success?
Your own goals, not other people's goals.
What are your views on the concept of time? Is it linear, cyclical, or something else entirely?
I have no idea.
Do you think it's possible to live a truly authentic life in today's society?
Yeah, 100%.
How do you reconcile the idea of human insignificance with the desire to live a meaningful life?
Kind of circling back to worry about your world, your own happiness. Don't worry about other people. If you like eating tacos on a Tuesday, go eat tacos on a freaking Tuesday. Make yourself happy.
Are you into tacos?
Yeah, I kind of want some tacos right now.
Are you hungry?
I'm hungry.
Should make some tacos. Either way, it's been a good episode. Is there anything you want to say to the people?
Thank you for watching.
I appreciate your time here on the StormCast. It's been a nice, simple episode. Nice and chill.
Right.
Is there anything you want to shout out?
No,
Anywhere we can find you next?
but I do want y'all to comment. Tell them what y'all want to hear. What kind of topics y'all want to hear him discuss. Who you want on here. What you want to see. Let him know
Yeah.
down below.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, we gotta get some interaction, some comments going down in the chat. Let us know. Let me know what y'all want to see more of in the future. Chat, let me know what topics you guys want to hear about or type of guests you guys want to see on the StormCast. We're just taking it one episode at a time, having fun and living our lives. But I hope you guys are out there enjoying your day and doing something that you love to do and doing something that makes you happy and feel good about yourself. What do you think makes life worth living?
Friends and family, 100%.
How do you define personal growth? What does it look like for you?
Loving yourself. Like genuinely. Like if someone's complimenting you and taking that in and genuinely believing it and not just being like, oh, I'm okay or I'm all right. It's literally self-love.
Everyone has their own way of handling that because at the end of the day, we are all animals.
Yep.
Does anything scare you? How do you deal with fear and what scares you?
I guess bad people. That's really about it. I'm really not scared of much. I mean, of like being hurt and harmed and stuff like that. I feel like those are normal fears, but like honestly, just bad people. You never know who you're gonna come across. It's about it.
Is there such thing as true happiness?
I think so. Everybody can find it. Emotions come and go. They're temporary. So you just gotta find it. It's fleeting. It's not always constant.
I appreciate you for joining the StormCast. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you for joining us here. It's been a good episode. We talked about a lot of good topics and interesting things about her. And we learned a lot about life in general. And shout out to Kighlyn. We'll see you on the next episode. I love you guys so much and stay blessed. And we're out of here. See you on the next episode.